Hello! Welcome to the So You Want to Be a Marine Biologist podcast, where we dive into the connection between the land, the sea, and us. Here, field stories reign supreme and life experiences are divulged. I'm your host, Kara Muzia. Let's dive into today's episode. Have you heard about my free program, Back to Nature? Getting outside is vital to our health and the health of our planet. The cool part is, to reap the benefits, you only need a few minutes a day. This course is designed to be fun and easy to do, and perhaps spark an adventure or two. Click the link in the show notes to get started today, or visit karagracemuzia.com. Hello, mermaids, pirates, ocean lovers, and land lovers. Welcome to today's show. We are taking a little break from our regularly scheduled interview. I have been doing some writing and I've been sharing it online, and I thought it'd be really fun to share it on here. And if you are not familiar, I have also been coaching people. We work on career shifts, starting careers, and it's all about creating a life that lights you up. So I wanted to share some lessons that I've learned through my writing. And if you're not already subscribed to my newsletter, be sure to do there, because I do share all my writing on there first. And here we go today to talk about the balancing act. I was on a call with someone recently who had taken on so much, a full-time job plus 3 extra jobs, and as a result was working 7 days a week. She was able to sustain this for a year before burnout set in. Her basic human needs weren't being met. An inventory of priorities were in order. In college, I very clearly remember a friend talking about balance and how it relates to being successful as a student athlete. He himself was a competitive sailor, an instructor, and at the time, an engineering graduate student. Standing at the front of the room, dry erase marker in hand, whiteboard with complex scribbles and markings behind him, he had been talking about team racing and all the nuances that went with it. Turns out, team racing is more akin to playing chess on a sailboat than running an actual race. Erasing all the cartoon triangular-shaped boats and arrows pointing to various conclusions, he drew a simple equilateral triangle on the shining white canvas. At each point, he wrote one aspect of student life: sport, studies, social life. Pick 2, he had said. You can be terrible to mediocre if you try to do all 3, but if you want to be good, like really, really good, you have to pick 2. It's up to the user which sides of the triangle they want to live on: the sports and studies side, the studies and social life, or a life of socialization and sports. University is like the tide pool for the rest of life. Tide pools are connected to the ocean, but they're a safer space to experiment and play, to explore what's interesting, to see what works within the little tide pool, what doesn't, and to grow in a more contained space before being sent out into the wilds of the world. Pick 2 doesn't really apply when there's a career, personal health, relationships, hobbies, a rent or a mortgage. Add on top of that things to take care of, from inanimate objects like cars and homes on up to pets, children, and even aging parents. And it can feel like you're juggling glassware balanced on top of a very large round bouncing ball while someone pelts you with tomatoes. Hopefully they're at least bitty tomatoes. Work-life balance isn't a perfect equation. It's not clocking into one thing at a certain time and then clocking out and poof, the gear is switched. Balance does not mean your days are the same. Balance, or at least creating it, can be messy. In biology, the term for balance is called homeostasis, when everything is in perfect working order. Our bodies are constantly trying to achieve this. Any inputs, food or fasting, sleep or lack thereof, exercise, bad news, good news, all signal to the body that work must be done to accommodate this input. At almost no point in time are we in perfect homeostasis. Things are always fluctuating. Life is very much this way. There really is no perfect balance. We plan for the best, say yes to the opportunities that come into our field, and along the way are trying to figure out how to accommodate it all without overloading the system. There are times when work is demanding and you'll need to devote more time, more energy to keep projects moving, to wrapping things up. There are times when family life comes to the forefront, when someone gets sick, or there's a great milestone event coming up that needs attention and planning. Or you simply realize you haven't been on a date with your significant other in ages. Even if we can create a perfectly balanced schedule, we live in a constantly moving world, which means the plates you have set to spin so perfectly will eventually wobble. The knee-jerk reaction here is to panic, to frantically get the spin going again. After all, it had been working so perfectly before. If you believe in God, the universe, divine, spirit, or Allah, perhaps the out of balance state is a message that whatever you're doing is not working anymore. And even if you're not spiritual, it's still an invitation to take a step back and assess what your priorities are, and if what you're doing is still in alignment with them. Perhaps you got sick, indicating a need for more rest and less running. Perhaps you needed to take a closer look at what you spent the majority of your days on, and if it's aligned with what you want to contribute in your lifetime. Perhaps you simply needed to take more time to take yourself on a date. No one else, just doing something that lights you up. This, in fact, is what I recommend for anyone going through a tough time. Some more tactics to help even the scales. Planning. Figure out what it is that you want to do, what your priorities are, and very realistically, how long each of these will take. Ask for help. Women especially suffer from martyr syndrome, but men can be susceptible too. You do not have to do everything, and you certainly do not have to do everything alone. Collect your village. Imagine if someone were asking you for help. You certainly would jump at the opportunity. So give someone else the same opportunity and ask. Get outside. You are biologically wired to be outside, and too much time indoors can make everything go a little fritzy. If you can, get into the sunshine, listen to the natural sounds around you, even if it's through the drone or cacophony of manufactured things. Sometimes all it takes to achieve that fleeting moment of balance is a few tweaks. Other times things are so out of whack it requires an entire overhaul. In either case, you get to choose what balance looks and feels like to you. Happy navigating. Have you ever wanted to explore the underwater realm but are unsure about how to get dive certified? I've got you covered. With efficiency and a dash of humor, my ebook, Scuba for Beginners, takes what you need to know to get in the water and distills it down to easily digestible chunks. In it, I cover the gear you need to actually get dive certified, decode which dive agency is best for you, and the number one thing to look out for when you're getting certified. As an added bonus, the guide includes tutorials on skills you'll learn during the certification process and the secret to getting certified in 2 different places. Scuba for Beginners will leave you confident in how to become certified and ready to dive in. Scuba for Beginners is available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and my website, karagracemusia.com. Just click the link in the show notes and get started today. Thank you for listening to today's show. I'd love to hear any insight you've gleaned. Leave a comment in the show notes or send me an email over at karagracemusia.com. If you enjoyed this episode, leave a review and, of course, share with your friends. If you want more resources for creating a life of purpose and meaning, plus personal insight from me that I just don't share anywhere else, join me at karagracemusia.com and sign up for email updates. Keep after your dreams and making waves in your community. One person can make a difference. Thanks so much for listening, and I'll catch you next time on the So You Want to Be a Marine Biologist podcast.